What's up, everyone? Axel here of Axetruth.com, and this is where I cut through the bullshit. And I'm finna cut through some bullshit now. Not in my backyard. The typical liberal stance, the typical liberal saying. You know, there are some things going on right now in the country. Governors sending migrants, you know, the open borders, let them all in to come here for a better life. You know, they're coming across the border and they're going into these border states as if they have the capacity and the resources to house all these illegal aliens, migrants, whatever you want to call them. Yes, I'm passionate about this. All video, sound, and music used during this broadcast falls under fair use. Fair use is allowed for the purpose of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe on copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, so let's first go to the news report here of Governor DeSantis flew some illegal aliens or migrants, whatever terminology you want to use, to Martha's Vineyard. You know, because they're in Florida. They can't house all these people. And since the liberal put the sign out in your yard, no one's illegal, like my mom did. You know, these people don't believe that. Because do you want them put in your backyard, in your neighborhood? Why don't you let take some up in your house and house them and feed them, clothe them, and give them health care? Take on that responsibility. But no, when it comes to when it gets dumped off in their shit, oh, it's a problem. We can't handle this. And I got the receipts for you. But let's first go to the news.
Concerning actions taken by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. His office confirms that he sent 2 private planes carrying almost 50 undocumented migrants to Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts. Now, the group includes children. CBS 4's Carly Barnett is in the newsroom gathering the latest on the story. Carly?
And we're going to watch how the Khazarian Mafia Jesuit-owned news reports this. You know, they're going to try to make this look like some kind of bad thing, using them as political pawns and all this thing. But no. What are they being used by the Democrats who want them all to come in and flood these states that don't have the capacity to hold them either? Let's share the responsibility.
Elliot, we've been following the latest developments on this. The planes landed later in the afternoon, and some of the migrants told the translators there that they didn't even know where they were after the planes landed. They were simply released. Local officials saying that they had no idea this was going to happen. They are now providing shelter. The Massachusetts governor's office says they are also providing support, but it's not enough, they say, given the lack of advanced warning.
So,
emergency management officials tweeting out this message, asking for volunteers to help, calling this an urgent humanitarian situation.
Get it together.
Just recently, Governor DeSantis and the lieutenant governor spoke about busing Cuban migrants to Delaware.
Yeah.
The state recently set aside millions of dollars to relocate migrants. A Massachusetts state representative says some of the migrants are saying that they were promised housing and jobs before arriving to Martha's Vineyard. They also apparently had to walk a couple of miles from the airport to get help. Another state representative tweeted this picture of a temporary shelter that's been set up at a church. And we spoke with St. Andrew's Church, who said everyone jumped into action. And here's what a state representative had to say.
Yeah. And I want anyone in the listening audience to understand this. Don't sit up here and say they need warning. They should have gave an announcement. They're using these people. When these people come across the border and come into these states, they don't get no warning. They don't get no announcement. They have to scramble and see and put something together for these people who are coming here illegally. You see how this works? So I don't give a damn about what they're saying. These people are being used. They didn't know where they were going. You don't know where you're going when you cross that border. You come over in this country. How is it that the border states are responsible for all this? They got to have the infrastructure set up to house and take care of these people. And more keep coming over. Let's share the responsibility. Now they're getting a taste of their own medicine.
They came very hungry, and thirsty. So we made
So?
sure that everyone was well fed and had everything they need. We've created a play area for the kids
Yeah.
here.
Get on it.
They're using children as political pawns.
The 50 people are apparently from Venezuela. Our CBS affiliate in Boston actually tracked the planes and said that it started in Texas, then went to the Florida Panhandle before finally going to Martha's Vineyard. This could be a politically divisive decision for the governor because he was praised multiple times on Fox News. Tonight, one host even laughing about it. But a group of immigrant activists are also outraged. They plan a press conference tomorrow in Doral. Live in the newsroom, Carly Barnett, CBS 4.
And illegal immigrant activists are outraged. Outraged at what? They're spreading this stuff around, putting it in your backyard. See, it's not in my backyard. See, oh, we can't do this. We don't have the, we can't, ooh, ah, ooh, 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 ah, ah, ooh. You see this bullshit? You see, this is why liberals, they're nothing but disgusting liars and hypocrites. Welcome them in. No one is illegal. Isn't that what the sign says that you have in your yard? No one's illegal. Well, get it together. House them. Feed them. Make sure they are comfortable. But here's what they're talking about, the laughing part. Here it is. That's all I want y'all to get, because I got the receipts here.
Migrants just landed on Martha's Vineyard. Apparently they were sent there by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Fox News Digital got this video showing the migrants landing on the ritzy island where President Obama has a summer home. Clintons hold their ritzy fundraisers there, and where Bill Gates takes his vacations. Wonder how they'll greet their new neighbors.
Yes. Greet your new neighbors. The neighbors, the people you said, let them in, open borders. They're coming here for a better life. They're going to have a better life in Martha's Vineyard, your ritzy area. Get it together. Build some housing. Give them jobs. Give them food. Do what you want the Texas governor to do and Ron DeSantis to do. Don't give me that bullshit about them using him as a political pawn when it's the Democrats that's using him as a political pawn from the get-go. Trump said build a fucking wall because you're not supposed to be coming across here like that. We have a procedure. We have procedures how you come into this country. You come in here the right way. And there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. I don't see anything wrong with it. Let's pass and share the responsibility around. Send these illegals, migrants, or whatever you want to call them, coming here for a better life and all that other BS, and put it in these blue states. In fact, I'm even better. Go pull the voter rolls. Everybody that voted for Joe Biden, send them illegal and dump them off in their yard. Take care of them. But here is the old hunky liberal doing exactly this is what these hunkies do. This is the typical Martha's Vineyard resident. This is their response. Listen to this crap.
So,
what are the most difficult challenges right now?
the difficult challenges are we have, at some point in time, they have to move from here to somewhere else, right? We don't have the services to take care of 50 immigrants, and we certainly don't have housing. We're in a housing crisis as we are on this island, and so we can't house everyone here that lives here and works here. We don't have housing for 50 more people. So,
what are the most difficult challenges?
Not in my backyard. We don't have the house. We can't house 50 people. We have a housing crisis in Martha's Vineyard. So, there's a housing crisis all over the country. What are you talking about, Miss Millie? Ms. Millie? Not in my backyard. Don't bring them here. Don't bring them illegals here. Don't put them in my backyard. That's the liberal. Now, Texas Governor Abbott sent some migrants to Kamala Harris's house.
This news just coming out this morning. Texas has dropped off 2 busloads of migrants at Vice President Kamala Harris's home in Washington, D.C. The Texas governor doing this to try to send a message because Harris said recently in an interview, with, I believe it was NBC or NBC News, that the border is secure. Well, the Texas governor does not believe that to be the case, so he is sending migrants right to the door of Kamala Harris, the vice president of the United States. I want to know what you think about this. Some people say there is a crisis happening at the southern border. Others say there's not. The vice president says the border is secure. I want to know what you think about this. It's a news story happening today. Follow me right over there.
See, pass the buck, pass the responsibility. Not in my backyard. There is no crisis at the border. So where are these illegals and these migrants coming from that they're flying around and busting around the country to share the responsibility of housing, feeding them, making sure they're okay, while we have millions of Americans being evicted from their homes as we speak. Millions of Americans are going to be losing their homes to foreclosure as we speak. Are these Americans going to be allowed and given housing, food, shelter? See where I'm going with it? You see where I took it? Americans and America first. And you want to call people racist for feeling this kind of way. It ain't got nothing to do with race. Because illegal is not a race. Got nothing to do with that. You're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to come here the right way. We have a legal immigration system. We have a legal way of migrating here. If you're fleeing, if you're coming here due to seeking shelter, what is it that they come here for? Asylum. There's a legal way to do it when you're seeking asylum here. You just don't come across the border. And then there's a limit to all of it. It's not unlimited. We can't take in the whole world in the United States. Liberals and your bullshit. And now that these governors are packing them up, saying, hey, we ain't got the resources, that we don't have the area with the housing or the food, the money or anything to take care of all these people here. We're going to send these people to blue states, sanctuary cities, and everything. Y'all handle them. You share in the responsibility. Let's spread this out. Like I said, I think every last one of them should be dropped off at a Biden voter's house in their yard and tell them to pitch a tent in their yard. You know how Americans are pitching tents and living on the streets, homeless. And ain't nobody giving them a place to stay. Ain't nobody giving them housing and food and shelter. Every American should be, they should be cheering these governors on for doing this, giving, finally, people can see this for what it truly is. It's a crisis. It is a crisis. It's always been a crisis. And that's what Trump came in and was trying to stop when he got elected in 2016. And the Khazarian Mafia Jesuit-owned media set up there and demonized that man for wanting to stop this and those with this stuff happening with these children that's coming across the border. You think these children are coming with their parents? You think those kids are with their families? No. Why are those kids alone? Ask yourself that. What's going to happen to those kids? Who's tracking those kids? Join me tonight for Power of the Living Word. It's going to be very interesting. And it's going to be talking about the church and the lack of speaking about child sexual assault on children. That's what tonight's topic about. Join me tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Put your comments below. Tell me what you think about this flying migrants to blue states and blue areas and ritzy areas to share in the responsibility of taking care of these migrants and illegals that's coming across here looking for a better life. Shouldn't everyone pitch in and help? Put your comments below, share the video, subscribe to my channel. Go to my website, Axetruth.com. If you want to support my channel and what I do, the links are below. Go to my website, and you can also access my Teespring store as well as my store, my merch store with Rise International. Have a great night and be blessed, everyone.